Hello, welcome to this channel. Thank you for coming this way today. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel if you have. That helps us to ensure that anytime the new content is dropped on this channel, you are notified. Thank you also for sharing, likes, and for your comments. Yes, share this video because what I'll be sharing in this video is going to help you and is going to help someone that you know, someone that is close to you, people who are around you and are asking questions. Why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? What's really the situation? So I'm going to take the part 2 of interpreting your pain. Interpreting. We need interpreters for pains. If you don't interpret the pain, you will blame the wrong thing, and you would not do the right thing you need to do, and the situation may last longer and even worsen. So it's important that we're able to know why we are going through what we're going through. What we're going through and why we are going through it are two different things. That's why doctors must try to diagnose what the problem is to be able to make the right appropriate prescriptions. And it will eventually require that, okay, let's go and scan, let's do x-ray, let's do a lab test to be sure what really is going on, because you cannot solve a problem you have not understood. You can't. Proverbs chapter 18 says, he said, he that answereth a matter before he understandeth it, to him it is folly. You can't solve a problem you have not understood. So that's the first thing to do. So people are asking questions. So in the previous video, I looked at reasons why people have pains. I talked about the proper interpreters that God brings our way, how that we can seek the Lord and find an answer, and the Spirit of God will show you what exactly it is that you are going through. I also talked about how that God can bring genuine prophets your way and they help you to interpret your pain. Someone like Haggai helped the children of Israel, the Jews, to understand that the adversity they were going through was because they had abandoned the house of the Lord and had gone to dwell in their own paneled houses. So it's important that we get interpreters who are able to show us what is going on, why we are going through what we are going through. Daniel had to come to Belshazzar, when he saw the handwriting on the wall. Daniel helped him and said, look at this is what this writing is saying, and this is why this writing is this, because you have not humbled yourself, although you knew what your father went through. So Daniel helped him to interpret his pain and then told him the consequence of what he had done. And that was it. So proper interpretation of our pain, it's very, very helpful. And this is what is often not done. So we talked about pain that comes as a result of process. There is nothing you can do about it unless you want to jump process. And if you jump process, you can't be a finished product. You cannot. You can't. You can't be. It's like a fruit jumping down before it's ripened. You're not going to be what you're supposed to be. So when we jump process, then we can't get to where we ought to get to because we didn't finish what we're supposed to finish. And process gives pain. It's not because there is a devil. It's not because God is not answering prayer. It's not because you did anything wrong. Process gives pain. Gives pain. So that's part of the reason that Paul was, said, endure hardness as a good soldier of the cross. So when we're going to process, we just have to go through it. We have to wait. We have to endure. And with the passage of time, if we do well, we are going to come out on the other side. Job said, he knows the way that I take, and when he has tried me, I shall come forth as gold. We also talked about the pain that comes as a result of persecution, where we are doing what is right because we are colliding with the kingdom of darkness. The kingdom of darkness wreaks of trouble against us. I'm going to be sharing something very, very close to that. And then thirdly, we talked about the pain that comes from doing something wrong, committing a sin, an error in our lives, presumption, that's how pain can come. And when pain comes as a result of presumption, as a result of doing something wrong, then the way to reduce the pain or come out of the pain is to try to right the wrong. You right the wrong. If it's sin against God, you repent, turn to God. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, I, the Lord, will hear their prayers, and I will heal their land, because the problem of the land came as a result of rebellion and disobedience. Now, I'm going to talk about the other reason why people have pain, and many people like to hear this. People always interested when you can show them that the pain is spiritual. People like that language. So, Pastor, what I'm going through is a spiritual problem. It's a spiritual problem. It's an attack. People like that. I don't know why people like that. Process is okay. Persecution is okay. And then you talk about, say, Pastor, this thing is an attack. I'm telling you, Pastor, it's an attack. I know what I'm going through. So people love that. Once you can establish that this is an attack from Satan, even if they know what to do or they don't know what, but just to know that to conclude that this is an attack. Satan is attacking my finances. Satan is attacking my health. Satan is attacking this and that in my life. Satan is attacking my family, attacking my marriage, attacking this. So, of course, there is something like that. 1 Peter chapter 5 says, talks about that the devil goes about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. So there is no doubt about that. The Satan is one of the reasons people have pain. Yes, he is. He is. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 18, let's see. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 18, Paul said, therefore we wanted to come to you, even I, Paul, time and again, but Satan hindered us. Satan hindered us. A great and effectual door is open before you, but there are many adversaries. Satan hindered us. I mean, it's so clear. Paul said, this is not, we didn't do anything wrong. It's not just anything, but Satan hindered us from doing what we wanted to do. So that brings me to that. Satan was the reason behind Job's problem. Although it was a process, but Satan, was the tool in inflicting pain on Job. Satan. But we need to establish that every problem is not from Satan. Process is not from Satan. Yeah, persecutions, the kingdom of darkness can engineer persecution. Yes, that's part of it. That's why I say that, what I was sharing will be related to persecution, because that's the reason the enemy comes out, because it's like he's attacking light because he is darkness, so that you don't reveal, you don't harm him. So then Satan goes after people so they don't cause havoc, don't cause problems for him. So Satan is a part. He has a part to play in the pains that people suffer. So let me say it again. Everything we go through is not from Satan. The process is not Satan. And when people sin against God, that's not, and they are suffering as a result of sin, well, yeah, you can say Satan tempted them, but that's a different thing. But I'm just talking about when Satan strikes against people. The loss of wealth, the misfortunes that came upon Job was a result of attacks of Satan. The death of his children, the loss of his business, and the loss of his health, these were attacks of Satan. So why would Satan attack someone? Satan has two departments. he has two major departments of operation. Two major. One is a department of deception, the other one is a department of attack. Or you call it the department of serpent and the department of scorpions. You call it the rulers of the darkness of this world, or you call it spiritual wickedness in high places. So Satan, has these two departments. So when Jesus was giving power to his people, he said, behold, I give to you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over every power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Serpents and scorpions. So this is how it works. The first tool, the first thing that the devil does is not to attack anybody. No, he's too smart for that. Satan doesn't just go to attack. The first thing he does is to deceive. If he can get your cooperation and deceive you, he won't attack you. So Satan sends out serpents. It was not a scorpion that went to Adam and Eve, to sting them. No. It was a serpent. So the serpent goes first to secure deception, to see if you can be won over to Satan's side. The moment you get won over to the side of Satan by falling into temptation, then there's no need attacking you because you're already a captive. You're already a captive. So Satan's first is to try to deceive people into sin, deceive people into wrongdoing. Once they do that, he doesn't need to attack them. So how does Satan now attack? Satan attacks whom he cannot deceive. When he can't deceive you, he attacks you. So you see that in the temptation, in the problem that Joseph faced in Potiphar's house, the serpents and the scorpions were involved. The serpent walked through Mrs. Potiphar to lure Joseph into sin. To lure him into sin. But Joseph refused to be deceived. He did not yield to that allurement. He did not yield to the pressure from Potiphar's wife to commit sin. So when he did that daily and did that daily and did that daily, and it was not working, he said, okay, I'm going to attack him. So Joseph did what was right, and then Satan attacked him and sent him to prison. Now, the problem with the thing about satanic attack is that if you are walking with God, everything Satan brings your way to attack you will end at where God wants to go. He will push you further into the plan of God. So in trying to attack Joseph, then he was pushed in. Why did Satan, want to be involved in the death of Jesus Christ? Oh, I've been trying to deceive him. The man is not cooperating. We've been trying to deceive him. He's not cooperating. Temptations came here, do this, do that, do the other one. He didn't cooperate. If Satan had if Jesus had bowed to Satan, there would be no need for the cross. If he had done the things that Satan wanted him to do, there would not be no need. So the first thing is for Satan to deceive, and that's why he puts so much energy into deception. And so a lot of people that the enemy has deceived now will say Satan is attacking. I believe it's a witch that is affecting you. I believe it's this and this. So you need to be watchful when you're dealing with Satan. The first thing that he brings your way is deception. Once he gets you, the work is done. You'll be the one that attacked yourself. What happened to Mordecai? Mordecai was tempted to bow to Haman against the will of God. If he had bowed to Haman, there would have been no trouble. Haman will continue there, and Mordecai will continue to remain where he was. But when Mordecai refused deception, said, no, I'm not going to bow to this. I'm a Jew. We don't do this. My faith forbids this. My faith is against it, and I'm not going to violate my faith. Then he was off the deception hook. And so what's next? Attack. What happened in Babylon? The Hebrew young men, the first thing was not to put them in the lion's den. The first thing is, will you bow to this? When they did not bow, then the fiery furnace was there. So the image was on one side and the fiery furnace was the other side. Those are the two departments of Satan. The image was in this department of the serpent, and the fiery furnace was in the department of the scorpion. That's it. So that's what the enemy does. When I can't deceive you, I will attack you. What happened to Daniel? What happened to Daniel? It's the same thing. We don't want anybody to pray. Daniel would have submitted to that deception that nobody should pray to anyone except the king. If Daniel had done that, he would have been deceived, and then he lives under. And there will not be any need for attack. But the moment he did not yield to deception, then Satan came up with an attack. We're going to throw you into the lion's den. And he went there, and God honored him. God glorified him. So if you're walking with God, there's no need to fear satanic attack, because God will still be in control. God whom you obeyed instead of yielding to deception will still deliver you. So that's what the Bible said. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and they are safe. What happened in the life of the apostles and disciples in the book of Acts? The first thing was deception. Don't preach again in this name. We've told you, don't preach in this name. Did you hear us? If they said yes, there will be no problem again. There will be no problem. But when they said, no, we cannot, we will rather obey God than man. We cannot but speak of the things we have heard and seen. We cannot but speak of that. Then no problem. Attack came. That's why they had to go to prison. That's why they had to be beaten, because they did not yield to pressure. When it is an attack of the enemy, whoever calls upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. This is why, you will rebuke. This is where you bind the devil. This is where you pray. This is where you command, peace be still. The storm was an attack of the enemy in Mark chapter 4, and Jesus knew it. So this is not something you endure and it's okay, I have to endure this, I have to endure the other one. His process. God is teaching me. Satanic attacks are not, God is not teaching you anything. The only thing God is teaching you is to fight back. It's to fight back. There are times when you just have to lie low. Satan will do his worst, but God will still glorify himself. At other times, you have to stand on your feet and say, in the name of Jesus Christ, you satanic attack, get out of my way. We spoil every plan of that's part of the reason we pray. And bring every work of Satan, every attack of the enemy against. When people are set to do the will of God and Satan couldn't discourage them or couldn't distract them and couldn't stop them from going ahead, he will set up things to attack them. And he can use anything to attack. He can use false accusation. He can use sickness. You can use loss of things. He can use anything Satan plays dirty. He can use anything to bring an attack. But when it does happen, the more we pray, the more we call upon God, the more we lift up our voice in praise and in prayer to God, and then heaven will go. Because once Satan attacks, the battle line is drawn. We have to go to war. And of course, superior power would, the law of higher presence will come. By the presence of God, the enemy will be, disarmed. So in the name of Jesus, I pray. Maybe it's an attack you're going through, but never believe it's an attack unless you have overcome a temptation. Satanic attack is only for those who have overcome temptation. Satan said, this one, he doesn't hear. I will show him. When Satan can't deceive you, he will attack you. But when he attacks, don't worry about it. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs into it and they are safe. God will save you. God will preserve you. God will protect you from every satanic attack. Satan will eventually lose. He will regret forever attacking your life. God will get glory out of it. But as you're praying, if it is something you need to speak and command and take authority over the prince of darkness, you can do that. Satan, in the name of Jesus, will rebuke you and all your efforts. Get out of this place. You are doing that in the name. The disciples of Jesus returned to him and said, even the demons were subject to us through your name. That's how to handle demonic attacks. I pray the Lord will bless you. Share this video. Maybe it's going to be helpful to somebody and somebody is going to profit from it. God bless you. Amen.